Hello, 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 hello. Gonna wait for some people to come in. Don't know if you understand it or not, but I live in Greater Boston, and it is cold. It is very cold, not Buffalo cold, but it is cold. Hello, everybody. Happy holiday season. Impromptu, the real impromptu, and I'm just going to create this little video. Um, and if you have a question, you can absolutely type it. I don't plan on being here long. Uh, hello, Eugene, and hello to the pilots. I see you joining, and thank you for joining. I hope everybody's getting a head start on the holidays and enjoying having family at home. Wanted to create this real quick because my phone is blowing up. And we got other people on this platform of X talking about having people at the table. I feel like he tries to imply like this is some sort of inside job. But we talked about this last week, and I made mention of the April 7th, and I was really careful and selective with my words for a specific reason. And I want to make sure that people have some clarity here. We don't need to be concerned like it's not raining on the high school graduates of 25 or 26. The NCAA is not out to hurt the high school athletes. None of that. It could be nothing but further from the truth. First of all, let's get this right. Let's be accurate. Let's not try to be first and be Johnny on the street reporter. And my inside sources at the table are telling me, that's just ridiculously bad. It's bad for parents. It's bad for athletes. Let's just stop. Take a deep breath. Hopefully, you can smell pine needles and holiday candles burning, etc. First and foremost, this is just a preemptive strike by the NCAA to say that athletes currently in the JUCO system, with regard to graduating, whether it's this year, they're going to have an extra year of eligibility. It's a one-off type thing. This is a one-year situation. The NCAA is basically kicking this down, and they're going to wait and get to the April 7th deadline. And between now and April 7th, and as many of you are aware, there is the American Baseball Coaches Association meetings where the NCAA Division I chair and committee, as well as all the other NCAA divisions and junior college, NJCAA, they have meetings and, they have discussions and they put things out there and they vote and, the people that are against, the people that are for. But April 7th is the settlement date. So between now and then, there'll be a lot of discussions, there'll be a lot of arguments, but at the end of the day, there'll be an agreement that will come into place. And it's important for parents to understand this is not going to be a situation where the NCAA is going to try to prohibit, restrict in any way the opportunities for high school athletes. And I think it's important to understand we got so many people out here with, in my neck of the woods, we have Fenway Park and the Boston Garden. You got people waving you into park with red flags. Come on in here. Come on in here. You're trying to get people that are taking advantage of the chaos. There is no need to be all upset or uptight. This is not going to be anarchy where the NCAA is suddenly going to say, we're going to wipe out all the junior college years and you can show up on a Division I or II or III campus as a 22-year-old and you have 4 years of eligibility and it's going to rain name, image, and likeness money. And, who the heck needs to be a pro? Let's talk about college. College is a whole different animal. It's different than travel baseball. It's different than high school baseball. It's just a different level of the sport. I'm not going to get up on a soapbox and talk to you about who's good, who's not good. What I'm going to say to you is this ruling applies as you read it. It's affecting the college seniors. It's giving that extra year, and they're getting out in front of any potential legislation. So don't run around thinking like your high school student is going to be left behind, because that's not going to be the case. What is going to be the case is we, as a fraction of adults, and when we interact, we need to be really cognizant that we're dealing with teenagers or young adults in their futures. And at the end of the day, the collegiate experience, while some people are kind of pushing it off to the side and saying, yeah, that's not such a big deal, it's an academic experience, and athletics play a role in that. And as Tim Corbin said a few weeks ago, there are two rooms that will elevate your student athlete in a way that no other room can. And that is the classroom and the weight room. And so if we listen to that, if we listen to a coach who I consider to be, in today's world, one of those Mount Rushmore kind of coaches, he speaks not only eloquently, but there's a lot of wisdom. Two rooms that impact a high school athlete when they become a college athlete: the classroom and the weight room. And that's what college athletics is about to become. You're going to have to be in that mindset of time management, time commitment into being a complete and total athlete. For all these people that are saying, oh, name, image, and likeness, who needs to go to class? Who needs to get a degree? The world doesn't need any more college graduates. It's the last 4 or 5 years, if you're talking undergraduate, where young women and men are allowed to still kind of have that childhood, entering adulthood time, interacting with peers. So for today's ruling is just a one-off that is going to allow the extra time where cooler heads will prevail. So, they're going to, on April 7th, between now and April 7th, there'll be a lot of very, very wise, intelligent minds, both from the NCAA as well as the college coaching community, from all levels and all divisions. I think it's important to reiterate, nobody is going to say to the NJCAA, the CAA, any of the JUCO affiliates, you're meaningless or you're going to become our minor leagues. College baseball at any level in every division is really for a very select group of young men and women with regard to all of athletics. The other thing I really want to put out here that nobody is really talking about, and I'm going to answer some questions that I see coming in here. Just take a deep breath and understand the Title IX implications that have to be dealt with. All these schools that have football, and I believe it's 105. It's not my forte to understand the football, but I believe it's up to 105 with regard to scholarships. And so a Division I school has to offset 105 where there is no women's version of college football. When we start to add in baseball, you're now up to 139, kind of scholarship or roster spots that have to have balance with Title IX. We need to understand this is a much bigger discussion than just JUCO baseball, NAIA baseball. Go play, get bigger, get stronger, and then go to Division I where the bright lights and all the name, image, and likeness money will roll down. It's not that way. College coaches are still digesting and they're still collecting and gathering information. So I think it's important not to rush to any judgment. Diego Pavia, the quarterback at Vanderbilt, kudos to that young man for the previous, let's say 15 years, thanks to Ed O'Bannon. And Ed O'Bannon was a college athlete for UCLA. He started this whole ball rolling downhill. It came to fruition last spring with regard to name, image, and likeness and all of the settlements that were starting to be announced. And so allow everything to get to April 7th. Don't panic. No need to chase. You get to choose. There'll be options. I promise you, there will be options and opportunities. Okay, questions, Q&A. What is going to, okay, Tanner Carson. Okay, Tanner, you're living this, young man, so this is a good opportunity for you. And I apologize. I have to put the spectacles on. I can't see. What is going to stop every JUCO athlete filing a lawsuit one after the other using the same argument? Tanner, this is a good question, and I'm going to talk to you because you're a 2025 high school graduate. What's going to end up happening is, I believe, my opinion, is that the NCAA is going to create a balance, and I think they're going to allow. Right now, it's 4 years of eligibility over a 5-year plan, over a 5-year period of time. And now at the Division I level, with the elimination of the red shirt, I think the trade-off will be there'll be a 5th year of eligibility. That's just my opinion, but that's what I think will happen. And I believe there'll be some sort of an injured reserve for injuries that have medical backing, i.e. broken bone, torn, Tommy John, etc. So I think the NCAA as a whole in its entirety is going to get ahead of this issue, and they're going to create a game plan so that everything going forward will have structure and guidelines. There's no way that the NCAA is going to deal with this topic or issue year after year after year. I believe this is a one-off. And let me explain really quickly. Before name, image, and likeness, there was a lot of booster activity. And now that they kind of put, the legalization of the booster and the name, image, and likeness and the compensation, which many believe is long overdue. But I want people to understand that once that got implemented, there were people that may have been penalized that, they said, well, geez, if I had known this was going to be part of the deal, I wouldn't have elected to go do a JUCO year. I might have done a postgraduate year. I might have done a gap year. So they're essentially saying, okay, that makes sense. For this particular period of time, we will allow all of those affected within this window to be compensated with the extra year. It's not different. You could look at this in slight comparative capacity to the NCAA settlement, which goes all the way back to the athletes of up until, I believe, 2016. And then they say, okay, this is the group that would have been affected, that would have received compensation. They could have gone back to 2009, but that's a lot of money. So I think they're trying to give justice and to satisfy. So I think this is going to be within a certain time period. I think they're going to add, my opinion, don't know this, don't have people at the table that are telling me this, but I think you may see extra year of eligibility, 5 years of eligibility. And so if you want to do 2 of those at a JUCO, get three at the NCAA, it's kind of a compromise. Thank you for that question, Tanner. Do you see junior college system changing? And what are the top 3 JUCO programs right now? Okay, Mr. Farmer, that I am not going to touch. What do I think the 3 top JUCOs are? I mean, one look, at the Division I level, there's a lot of great JUCO programs. In fact, I would make an argument that for the vast majority of JUCO programs, they love the awareness that this is bringing to their programs. I mean, there's no such thing as bad publicity, and this is publicity. JUCO. Everybody's talking about JUCO. And even prior to all this excitement, the JUCO world was getting inundated with pushbacks, fallbacks, whatever we want to call them. And then the athletes that were being preemptive and kind of getting into the JUCO ranks and allowing for physical maturity and getting development and coached. And the JUCO formats are so different. They allowed for an expanded fall season. We could talk about this for hours, but JUCO, you're not going to see any additional roster spots created at JUCO, which I think is really at the crux of why I wanted to have this kind of impromptu, is because I want parents to understand it's not like JUCO is already looking for more athletes. They are already overflowing with athletes. They're just going to get better athletes, bigger athletes. And when I say better, I mean skilled, athletes that don't want to go someplace at the Division I level. They want to get a start and get playing. So it's not like there are more JUCO opportunities now because of this new ruling. I think it's important for parents to understand that. I do want to reiterate that I think the biggest winner in this process is NAIA. These are coaches that are now texting me back. So again, a lot of coaches are using the words like it's a mess, it's chaotic. It's the holiday season. They want to take a break too, but I think it's important for you and I to have a dialogue. Understand, this is for athletes that are currently in a JUCO or were previously at a JUCO and now at the Division I, Division II, Division III level of NCAA. But just understand, this is a finite period of time that this recent ruling that just came out today is acknowledging. They'll kick this down the road, a term that was used on X, and get into it between now, or obviously after the holiday season. Washington, D.C. is going to be Washington, D.C. and Mohegan Sun, which for me is in my backyard. Wow. There are going to be lots of discussions. And that's where I think you're going to see a lot of this interaction going back and forth with regard to committees. Let's see here. Eugene, as always, thank you for joining. Merry Christmas, Coach Matt. Let's see here. I'm going to keep going back to when California changed to allow. All right, so I'm going to read all these real quick. Keith, what happens to guys that were on the fence to go to JUCO because they were not developed enough to go to Division I, Division II, or Division III? Okay, Keith, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Holidays. I just want to explain, JUCO has always been a really advanced, for the most part. At any level of athletics, there are elite, there are above average, there are very good, there are good, average, and below average. Every caliber of athletics, that's how it rates. The programs at the junior college level, and I can speak for programs in the greater New England area, Quinsigamond, CCRI, which is Rhode Island, Northern Essex, which is in Haverhill, Mass, Dean. I could go on and on. I think Dean now is a 4-year school. But my point is JUCO has always been filled with very talented players. Are they elite Division I players? Not at all times, but generally most players that are at the JUCO level will find a home at a 4-year school. Usually in our neck of the woods, it's Division III and Division II with the Northeast 10, Assumption, St. Anselm's, Southern New Hampshire, New Haven, schools like that. But just understand, this JUCO rule is not like everybody run to your nearest JUCO and get in there and play right away and then go to a Division I, II, or III school or an NAIA Division I or II school. Important. You need to understand all of the ramifications, and we don't want to go through this tonight, but credits and transferring credits and, the 2 years, 3 years to play 2, and a lot of JUCOs at the very high advanced levels redshirt a lot of their younger guys. So really, we don't want to read too much into this, and we don't want to make rash decisions on trying to apply and go to the nearest JUCO and assume that you're going to just play right away. And I get a lot of these people that come at me with, well, Bryce Harper, he didn't go his senior year of high school, and he went right to JUCO. Okay, well, that's Bryce Harper. Not everybody is Bryce Harper. Not everybody is Paul Skeens. Not everybody is that elite, high school athlete that can go from high school to JUCO, especially in Nevada or California or Texas or Florida or Louisiana. So it's really important not to blur the lines. JUCO is in no way, shape, or form an extension of high school athletics, not even remotely close in any sport. So I want parents to understand, stay the course, look at the college as a collective experience, talk to people that you trust within your circle, your high school coach, possibly your Legion or your travel coach, talk to your strength coaches, get those evaluations, and then kind of chart the course, but be patient. Cannot tell you how many people have made college decisions in the mid to late spring. In fact, there used to be, I don't know what the new world is going to look like, but there used to be another letter of intent signing period. Instead of November, it was November and April, the late signing period. And I know they're doing away with NLI. So just understand, plenty of time. Now, I feel, who I feel like? George Bailey. There's a run at the bank, and everybody is going to Potter. And Potter is, I'll give you 50 cents on the dollar. And now you got all these people who are out here, this is a reporter, and I got guys at the table that are telling me to panic and go to JUCO. JUCO is going to get free eligibility for 4 years. It doesn't work that way. It just doesn't work that way. Let's see. All right. So I want you to know, while I'm sitting here, you get all these people that are sending me messages. Sarah, how do you think this will affect recruiting of current JUCO sophomores? Will this mean JUCOs? First of all, if you're a JUCO sophomore, you're going to get your extra year of eligibility. That's one. Two, if you're a JUCO sophomore and you have a resume and you have, some video and some statistics, it's not going to hurt. It's because you're a seasoned player. And I think it's important to understand the JUCO athlete, the current JUCO athletes, they're the winners. They're the winners in this whole thing. They're the ones that are going to get that extra year added on. So if you're a JUCO sophomore and you may have been there for 2 or maybe 3 years, you're going to get those 3 years at the NCAA level, Division III, Division II. But again, I don't think we talk enough. And I talk to all of these coaches, and I'm going to be talking to a lot more Division II, Division III, a lot more NAIA coaches. I really encourage parents to really do a deeper dive into some of these great Division III, Division II programs, these great NAIA programs. They have such tremendous opportunities that will present themselves for the JUCO sophomores, where they can go and be a part of a community and a campus that's going to affect their future. I mean, I can't say this any more any stronger, and any more with any more conviction. If you're chasing, I want parents to understand one thing: the uniforms at all of these really elite programs are not magic. When you put the uniform on, your student athlete doesn't become a major league draft pick. It's the athlete in the uniform and the coaches that are coaching the men in the uniforms that create the team. So this is not where you have to, we're not running a race. We're not running a race. All we're trying to do is literally find a life mentor, a staff of mentors, a campus of mentors that will allow our student athletes to become adults and be prepared. And baseball is a part of it. For the vast majority, well over 98%, then you're not going to earn a living from baseball. Becoming a major league baseball player is a major miracle. And if we settle down and really understand the entirety of the process, checking off the boxes with regard to size of campus, academic support staff, geographics, logistical, uh, travel back and forth for your student athlete. What is the coaching staff like? How long have they been there? What's their future going to be like at that facility? And if you take a look at the NAIA and the lower levels of the NCAA Division II, with St. Leo and Florida Southern and Barry and Lynn and U Tampa, and then you get into the Nova Southeasterns, and these schools have elite mentors at the helm, and so it's really worth your while to make sure in today's world, especially, that you're not running into a brick wall where you got to say, okay, I got to bounce out of here. I got to go into the portal. The portal dance is no fun. It's not fun. In fact, a lot of athletes don't find a home. And so what was the point of the whole process to begin with? This is what I try to do when I'm talking to parents. Sometimes they don't like what I'm saying, but in the end, we get the outcome that the student athlete and the family wanted. And sometimes it's just a matter of constructing a game plan and understanding there's going to be a yield sign or potentially a detour sign. And it's okay. Detours are okay. It's going to get us to the same place. We just have to take a different path. And that's what I'm trying to convey to you as parents and student athletes. Nobody's wrong here. Nobody's trying to upset people. Nobody's trying to make families miserable. Nobody's trying to penalize high school athletes. Reggie Christensen at Sacramento State. I mean, he really said some very eloquent things when we talked. Again, it's on the YouTube channel. Wes Carroll at Evansville. Kirk Sarlos at TCU. I mean, these are mentors that are not chasing. They're making decisions and choosing. And, these coaches want to find athletes that want to be part of their culture within their program. And I think if parents understood that and simply prepared over the 4 years, for, what is lies ahead, I think that is really a critical component to finding success within college athletics. Let's see. Coach Matt, would you suggest a current D1 commit rethink their commitment? Okay. Coach Matt, I do not. If you have a commitment, I would make sure that you're communicating. I get all these messages coming in from people at the table. If you have a commitment in place, right after the holiday season, I would have a conversation with the college coach and simply ask, do you foresee any hurdles or obstacles in my son's path that you would advise us to potentially look for an alternative? In other words, is this going to get so muddy that this is going to affect my student athlete? You've earned the right. If you have a commitment in place, you as a parent or a student athlete, I propose the student athlete do this directly as opposed to the parent, but ask the coach directly. In light of all this recent legislation, is there anything that is going to have a negative impact on my commitment to your program? You're giving the college coach the opportunity to say, well, absolute. In fact, yes. And I suggest that you may want to, and they are going to help if there's no room at the inn. But I do not in any way, shape, or form ever think it's a good idea to decommit and then go to a JUCO thinking like, okay, I'm going to go to the JUCO. Now, your program, the college coach may say, let me make a call to school X and see what their needs are so that your student athlete can play. I'm just saying to you, it's best to always communicate directly with your college coach that you have committed to as a student athlete and as a family. Clearly communicate that you are committed to the program and just want to make sure that everything is on track. If I need to prepare for an alternative option, please let me know sooner rather than later. All college coaches are going to be forthright for the most part. Every time I use the word all, I get inundated with, comments about, not all. Okay, not all. There are exceptions, but most coaches that I always talk with, they are of first class and they are of high moral fiber, and they're not going to try to take it out. Gators baseball, Merry Christmas. And I want to answer a question that has come in via my text message here. And I want to let parents understand real quick, and I'm going to close because I didn't mean for this to be 30 minutes, and I really appreciate parents watching. This is a really simple process that from this day forward, I strongly, strongly suggest that you as a family sit down and write out exactly what you're looking for out of the college experience. Understand that the caliber of the baseball program should not be the leader in the clubhouse as to the decision that you make on where you go to college. Does that happen? Yes. Do I understand that? Yes. But if you're picking a school because they're in a certain level or it's a certain division, I can't express how challenging it becomes when you have a student that is a freshman in college and the whole world is spinning in this new speed, and they don't feel that they belong, they don't feel that they fit, and it's just all about the baseball. That's when turbulence begins to hit, and any little wind stream really impacts the turbulence. You have to understand the college experience in its entirety. As I've said many times before, it's really important for you as parents to say, okay, if something didn't work here at this school, baseball wise, is our son or daughter going to be happy on this campus, in this community? Is this a school that excites our son or daughter, our student, in other levels, so that if baseball were not to work out, because if we're just going to go from program to program chasing the baseball, it's just as difficult, if not more difficult, when you go from portal to program to portal. It gets really cloudy, and it's not easy. Folks, I encourage you to do two things. One, if you liked anything about tonight, anything at all I want you to do is right now, go onto the YouTube page, just hit like, just hit the thumbs up, just engage with this video, please. The next thing, free to subscribe. I would love to get to 10,000 at some point in January. And lastly, the baseball blue book. I got caught off guard. I'm outside in my Wichita State gear, and I didn't have my blue book stuff on, but the blue book is free app. Just create a profile and let college coaches see your son, see how he interacts, see the metrics, see all the things that you want these coaches to see. Put it all in there. Make sure all of your athletes' contact information. I personally would make sure that they have all of their social media platforms on there, and allow your student athletes to enjoy their 4 years of high school as a freshman and as a sophomore. Don't worry about recruiting. As a junior and a senior, don't get nervous about the JUCO and extra years of eligibility, and there's no room at the end for the high school athlete. Keep your head down, work hard in the classroom, in the weight room. Listen to what these college coaches are saying, like Tim Corbin. 2 rooms going to alter your path in life that are going to push you to your limits and take you to levels that you did not think were attainable. The classroom, the weight room. Take care of business in both. Take care of business with regard to your skill set development. Be accountable for your time management skills. If I can help you in any way, just hit the comments down below. Send me a direct message. Send me an email. Merry Christmas. Happy 2025. I think you're going to love. I'm going to be talking with Scott Jackson on Thursday evening on the 26th, University of North Carolina, assistant coach, recruiting coordinator, former Liberty head coach. He's going to add, we're going to have some discussion on this topic. Happy holidays, happy Hanukkah, and I appreciate you taking the time to join me tonight. Thank you as always.